Hey Jude is actually a song produced by Beatles. Let me put it into a loudspeaker so they can hear. This is a very old song. I'm sorry, a very old song. So let's stop it. And let's get back to the problem. The problem here, this song is written by Paul McCartney for another band, another singer, John Lennon's son, whose name is Julian. Why is Paul McCartney writing this song for Julian? Because Paul McCartney, John Lennon is divorcing his wife to marry a Japanese girl. So Julian is facing the divorce of his parents. Paul McCartney is really close with Julian, so he is writing this song for him. Actually, he was only 6 years old when his parents got divorced. Now, I want you to write another song to comfort another person. If you want, for this one here, if I want you to comfort you, and then you say, hey, you. If I want you to comfort a kid, you say, hey, kid. All right? So, let's do that. If you think this is an easy problem, then you might be a little bit wrong about it. Like this. You print, it says, hey Jude, and then you say, hey Jude. Save it and evaluate it. And then you got a 0 out of it. Why do you get a 0? Because it says Jules. You need a hey Jules. When the input is Jules, you need a hey Jules, but instead of hey Jude. And if the input is guys, you need to say hey guys instead of hey Jude. And then you might want to say, well, I can say hey Jules. That's all right. Let's hey Jules. And then evaluate it. This time, you'll get a 20 out of it. Because you got the first one right. All right? You got the first one right. But the second one, guys, you are still saying hey Jules. And the Harry Potter, you are still saying hey Jules. This is wrong. You have to take the input and put it after hey. Do you know what I'm talking about? You need to take this input and put it behind hey. How do you do that? It's quite easy. We are not saying hey Jules. We are going to say hey input. Hey input. Be careful. Even though we don't have anything inside this pair of parentheses, it has to be there. This pair of parentheses have to be there so that it will execute, so that it will do the job. If you leave out this, and then it's not going to take the input, it will tell you what input is. Do you know what I'm talking about? You are mentioning about input, and then it will tell you what input is. Let's try to do that. If you save it, and then run it, it will say, hey, input is a built-in function. Do you know what I'm talking about? It will tell you what input is. You are not putting input to work. You are telling what is input. Do you know what I'm talking about? What is input? So you have to have this. This pair of parentheses. It has to be there. When you have that pair of parentheses and you run it, you will have a cursor blinking on the screen like this, prompting you, telling you to have an input. Now you have an input as a snail. It will say, hey, snail. Do you know what I'm talking about here? Okay, so don't forget to put this pair of parentheses. I have another example to tell you what a parenthesis will do. There's a command called help. What is help? For most of the applications, we'll have a help right here, like this. All right? And this is a help center. Okay? And when you need some help, you say help input. Without that parenthesis, in this case, I'm not going to tell the inputs to take an input for me. I'm telling the help to tell me what input is. So for this one here, it will tell you, well, input is a built-in function, all right, and how you use it and some explanation about it. Do you know what I'm talking about here? Are we trying to take the input from the input? No, no. We are telling help to tell me how to use the input. All right? Do you know what I'm talking about here? So don't forget about this one. This pair of parentheses, they have to be there for inputs to work. All right? Do you know what I'm talking about? All right, here. If you understand that, I want to tell you that inputs will always take a line of inputs like this. If you have Harry Potter, it will take the whole thing, the whole line of input. And then it will return this line of input to you, and then we'll print it out. So, hey is a string. The input will actually return the input, the line of inputs, as a string. So this is a string. This is a second string. There have to be 1 comma between these two parameters. We call it parameters. Okay. For any function, we need to have a parameter, all right? And for this print, it's got 2 parameters. One is this hey string. Another parameter, the other parameter is the string provided by input, taken from the line of the input, all right? Is there any problem? Is there any question? If you don't have any, this program right here, this program you see right here will solve this problem and get 100 out of this. Is that okay with you? If that is okay with you, let's see here. For the second problem, here's another problem called hello. This one here if the input is world, you need to say hello world. If the input is C++, you need to say hello C++. If the input is Taiwan, you need to say hello Taiwan, like that. So isn't this exactly the same problem as Hey Jude? The only difference is you need to put this hello and comma inside that first string. You know what I'm talking about? And then you'll get another 100. So there's are another 2 100 problems for you to get. All right? Any question? No question, that's good. Okay, let's do it.